Hello, and welcome to episode 219 of the Arena Regulars podcast. I'm Zach,
And I'm Jeff.
and we're your source for drunken Magic the Gathering arena content.
That's right, just a couple of regular guys drinking some irregular beers and talking about Magic the Gathering, in particular, the online client MTG Arena.
That's right, and this week is one of my favorite episodes. It is our pregame for the new set, Lorwyn Eclipsed, which comes out this next week, January 20th, onto Arena, but you're probably at a pre-release this weekend, right now, as this episode comes out, or hopefully you are. But yeah, so we're going to go through some of the cards, some of the ones we want to pick up, and which cards we think are going to be the best in the draft format. But first, each week we bring a beer, we drink it, we rate it on a scale from bronze to mythic, just like the tiers in Arena. So with that, Jeff, what is on tap this week?
All right, this is one I've had in my fridge for a while to do on one of these shows. This is a Fest beer, German-style lager from Dominion
right.
City. So I would have picked this up, I guess, when I went probably for Thanksgiving to visit my family in Ottawa. This is a brewery in Ottawa. And I actually remember buying this because I was with my dad. He was offering to pay, and I wouldn't let him. And then the guy who's checking me out scans this one. And he was like, "Oh, good choice." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's good." And he's like, "Yeah, Dominion City, they don't miss." And so
Okay.
I remember him saying that about this beer. So Dominion City, which, by the way, everything I've had by Dominion City is good. So I like Fest beers. I like Dominion City. My hopes are high. And it
All
felt
right.
like the right time. I'm excited about Lorwyn. I'm excited about this beer. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully it's not terrible. And that guy, the cashier, didn't lead me astray.
I mean, hopefully. Also, just like, a German-style lager's perfect drinking for pre-games, right? You don't want to be
Totally.
going too intense. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you can, depending on what you were going to do
depends
later.
how you pregame.
Yeah, it's true. But, okay, Jeff, how we pregame now, which is basically not at all, because there's there's nothing to go to.
There's no game.
Yeah, there's no game. But all right, let's crack this open and check it out. Oh yeah, baby. All right, we have some Magic news. Lorwyn Eclipsed, like I said before, is coming out this next week, and
It
so
is?
yeah, which feels great. Honestly, it's so nice. It's always good when you're happy that there's a new Magic set, because I don't know, it feels like Avatar was fantastic. We talked about it all last week, but now as we're getting into I don't know, it's a new year. We need a new set. It's exciting.
This is one of the ones I've been looking forward to since they announced it. Like, this is my most anticipated one for this year, and yeah, I've been looking up the spoilers, and obviously I like what I'm seeing. So
Yep, I'm liking what I'm seeing a lot. Also, there's a pro tour for Lorwyn Eclipsed, January 30th to February 1st. So that is also exciting. I love when the pro tour is just, I don't know, a week or two after the set comes out, and everybody's just scrambling to figure out what's the best thing to do and what should happen. Those are the most fun to watch. So that's going to be great.
I also love when it's a week before the tournament that I'm going to play in.
Yeah, exactly.
So that they can show me how I'm supposed to draft.
Yes. Well, Jeff, just remember, we're playing a sealed tournament.
Is it day 2 draft?
Yeah, you're just expecting.
I'm getting ready for day 2.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say you're just expecting to make day 2. It's like Jeff and I are gonna be playing in the Magic Spotlight in Toronto, and currently the main event is I think 19 spots away from being 1,800 people.
Oh man.
So that's why I'm yeah, you're sure you're gonna make day 2.
For sure. Yep.
So many people. I mean, it would obviously be great if we could, but I'm just excited to be playing. But there's a lot of limited to be played during the pro tour. There's an arena direct for Lorwyn Eclipsed, which I'm assuming they're going to do collector booster boxes for the pro tour one, and then it's the spotlight series that we're going to be in. And then the week after that, February 13th to the 15th, there's another Arena Direct for Lorwyn Eclipsed, which is probably the play booster one. But hey, this is the best. Like, they come up with a new set. There's major tournaments to play or to watch, and stuff you can play at your house. I don't know. This is just great. I love it.
Yeah, this is awesome. Try to play in that Arena Direct to get some practice in. It's the week before the big show. And then I'll watch some of the Pro Tour like footage, the VODs, to learn what cards I should have been playing in that event. It's not the ones that I did play. But as you'll see later, like, there's also a lot of cool stuff in this set for Constructed. So
yeah, this, I don't know. I'm pretty hyped. Like, overall, Jeff, I don't know. How are you feeling about the set? I mean, like, you obviously said that you're excited for it and looking forward to it, but it's been how many years? Lorwyn came out in 2006, 2007.
It's been like 20 years then.
Yes, like 20 years, about. So, like, people have been waiting for this forever. I mean, first of all, did you play Lorwyn the first time around?
No, that was in the brief window when I wasn't playing at all. It wasn't that brief, I guess, but like a decade. But it was during that time, and I always hear when I came back how cool Lorwyn was. Everybody loved it, and I'm like, damn, there's a few sets that I missed where I'm like, it would have been cool to play in that one. And Lorwyn was definitely one of them.
Yeah, same thing for me. Like, 2007, I was like a freshman in high school, so I was trying to do things that weren't nerdy, or quote unquote.
Yeah, that was too cool. That was my too cool for Magic phase.
Yeah,
but,
it was one of those things where I always tried to stop liking it, but then it always just pulled me back every single time, over and over again.
Can't.
Impossible. I do remember, however, when I was looking back at the set, and I, like, later when I had kind of come back to the game, I was like, Lorwyn, oh, that's interesting. I was like, oh, what is this? There's two sets and then two sets. I was like, what are you talking about? It's like big, small, small. It's not like big, small, big, small. What is that about?
You can't do that, Wizards.
Yeah, come on. And it was like one of the first times that they had done something like that, where they're really playing with a block structure. Then, of course, later...
A bunch of people don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, then, big, small just became like the de facto block format. And now we don't do blocks anymore, so...
there's nothing like a 3 different pack draft.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not very good. I'm not gonna lie.
But I have such fond memories of it.
I know, but looking back, like, every time I would do those drafts, like when the like, whatever, the small set came out, the last pack would be so, or like, it would just always feel so bizarre, where you're like trying to think of cards over all the different sets, or, okay, well, that card's not in that set, so I can't look for it in that pack. Like, it's so much easier to draft now, where you don't have to worry about, oh, well, yeah, your Legions pack will only be creatures, so, like, just know the second one is just going to be creatures, something like, you don't have to deal with that stuff. So, I don't know. Draft is much better now that we only do one set. That is true. Like, I don't think anyone's fighting against that.
I'm fighting it, baby.
All right, Jeff. Well, if you are interested, at the Magic Spotlight Series, actually, there is a sealed event. I know it's not draft, blah, 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 blah. But there's a OG Lorwyn sealed event where you get, well, I guess they're calling it like flashback, I think. But you get a Lorwyn, a Morning Tide, a Shadowmoor, and an Eventide pack, and then 2 Lorwyn Eclipse packs, and you make a deck out of it.
That's interesting.
It seems like a wild event.
I'll play in that after I scrub out of the main event immediately.
Yeah. That's kind of how I'm feeling too. Where I'm like, it's just, I want it to go so well, but I don't know. Anyway, it is the Spotlight Series. The main event will be streamed on Twitch. So those folks at home, if you want to try to see me and Jeff in the feature match, I would also like to see myself there, but it's not going to happen. I just
actually don't, because the way that's going to happen is if I pair against somebody that people want to watch.
That's true. That's true.
Means like I'm against LSV or something. So, hoping to stay out of that area.
Don't worry, he's not going to be at this event because he's busy with his children. So
Oh,
don't worry.
thank God for children.
Yeah. He won't be coming to these for a while. Maybe in next year or something. But yeah. Anyway, Lorwyn Eclipsed. First thoughts. Sick. I just right off the bat, I just want to say, the artwork looks so much like old Magic to me, in the sense that like there's some really weird looking Kithkin where I'm like, yep, that's Lorwyn. They look weird. And it's perfect.
I remember that about Lorwyn because I would like see the cards and I never played with them. I'd be like, why do they look so weird?
Why do they look so weird? And that's just Kithkin look weird. They're supposed to look weird. And so it's so nice that they still do. Like, I want to specifically point out this rare card that's called a Mirror Mind Crown, which has just an amazing Kithkin face on it. It's like this artifact.
Oh, jeez, that is derpy face.
It's so good. But it's by Dan Frazier, who's like an amazing Magic artist. But I think this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying like I want cards that look like this because
me too.
they're just awesome and fun.
The fairy stuff like reminds me of the old fairy cards that I didn't get to play with either.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Thoughtseizes and stuff like that.
It's so great. So anyway, I'm just really excited for this. Like, it feels like Magic's kind of coming back to its form. And this is so cool. I found this out today. Somebody posted the play booster box. The booster packs for Lorwyn Eclipsed have different artworks on the packs again. Instead of just one artwork for every pack, there's 3 different pictures. And so you get to think like, oh, is this character going to be in my pack? Or, oh, I really want 3 of these or whatever.
When's the last time they did that?
That was before play boosters. I think this is the first time that we have play boosters with different artwork. Which
I remember people used to trade at drafts and stuff to get like, oh, I want 3 Jace packs or whatever.
Because he's got to be in it. And then some people are like, no, Jace is never. They make sure that he's not in a Jace pack.
Yeah, you have it totally backwards, man. The Jaces are never in the Jace packs.
Exactly. So I just think that's really exciting. It's kind of like slipped underneath the radar as like, hey, we're going back to some Magic-y things. I wonder if the Universes Beyond stuff will just be kind of the same. Like, they're not going to change those to be Magic-y. But having Lorwyn like this, I know that it feels like such a small thing. It's just like kind of art direction and like some little, just nice old return to form kind of things. But it would be interesting if this whole year is like every time we have a, Magic playing set, they try to dive into the Magic as much as possible. And then when they do the Universes Beyond sets, they can be a little more off the wall. But then whenever we come back, it's just like, yep, this is what Magic is. And that would be pretty cool to me.
Yeah, that'd be a cool way to sort of leverage Universes Beyond. It's just like it lets you make a big deal when it's not a Universes Beyond set.
Yeah. So it's because then we won't have as much like kind of goofy car race stuff, which no shade to Aether Drift, but we can
a little shade to Aether.
Maybe a little shade, but like we can save a lot of that stuff for the Universes Beyond stuff and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then the actual Magic sets can be like, or what you know what I mean. The Magic themed Magic plane sets can be more like that. Anyway, I'm just happy with this set. I'm looking
Look
around
at this
all this
Goliath
stuff.
Daydreamer card. That's some old school Magic art by Omar Rayan. Oh, it's a rare Goliath Daydreamer.
What color is
it? If I
it?
saw that in an old border, that would look like an old Magic card.
The red one? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like so like watercolory, perfect. I don't know. It's so nice. Look at his little book. It's this giant reading a little tiny book. Oh man. So like this is what I'm talking about. This is what I love about these sets, and so I'm very much looking forward to seeing what are the little nuggets and trinkets we have in this set. But as we get into our pregame, Jeff, we got to talk about the cards we want to pick.
Yes.
On our no pass list. Jeff, what's our no pass list?
All right. When a new set comes out, you are likely going to be drafting it if you're anything like us. And during that draft, we don't want you to have to think about, do I want this card for my collection? Should I take it? Or should I take the card that's maybe better for my deck? It's in my colors, etc., etc. That's a decision that's pretty tough to make on the fly. And so what we like to do is just front load those decisions, because we do believe in rare drafting here. If there's something you're actually going to use, then it's worth a wild card, which is the most valuable thing in the arena economy, and it's worth more than the extra fraction of a % of your potential win rate that you get by not taking that card. So we want a rare draft, but we want to do it smart. We want to pick the rares that we commit to rare drafting ahead of time. Then when you're actually drafting, you already promised yourself you were going to take that card if you see it. Easy peasy. Click the thing, read the rest of the pack since it's all new cards, and relax. Get just settle down on the pace a little bit. Something we found super helpful. We used to make these big long lists. I think we've kind of tightened it again, but this time there's a lot of stuff I want, man. So
it is hard. It is hard when the set gets really exciting, but focusing on maybe a specific deck you want to try or something helps out a lot. Where you're like, well, these are all the cards I need for that deck, so I'm just going to, I have my shopping list, essentially.
Yeah, so we're going to tell you the cards that we are committing to take to rare drafting no matter what.
Yes.
And we think it's a good exercise for you to do the same. Just look through and be like, what things am I definitely going to want to try or play with or build in Standard? Instead of wasting a wild card on it, let me just make sure that while I'm drafting, if I ever see it, I add it to my collection.
That's right. And first things first, as always, we're going to kind of jump through this pretty quickly, but if the rare dual lands are good, you got to take them. Like that. Honestly, like if you do not have, like this set has the shock lands. We have 5 of them. If you do not have a complete set of shock lands, this should be your no pass list, and maybe that's your entire list. Like there's 5 of them. You're trying to get a play set of each card. They're going to be amazing. We have like Blood Crypt, Hallowed Fountain, Overgrown Tomb, Steam Vents, and Temple Garden, which is a mix between the allied and enemy colored ones, all the ones that we didn't have in Edge of Eternities. You need these to play Standard, and you need them to play like everything. So like just have them in your collection. And we're just bringing this up. However, they're not on either of Jeff or my no pass list because we already have our play sets. Like I
have them. Yep.
Drafted them or crafted them from previous sets. So
and there was a deal in the store over the holidays on the old border Shockland things.
When
I picked it up.
And you didn't tell me in the Discord, you dirty dog.
Oh, I guess I should have.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Jeff, I had a kid. I was not checking. I wasn't even playing Magic, really.
You were always on top of these things. So.
Well,
I just assumed
not anymore.
You knew.
No.
And maybe you even already had your old border Shocklands. I don't know.
Assume now that I don't know. Like, I know like a quarter of what I used to know because I'm not on Arena every day anymore. Because I can't. I got a little baby.
Similar to what I know.
Yeah, essentially. Now, a dad knowledge of Magic Arena, it feels like.
Okay, that's good framing. Next time I'll send it to you.
Yes, thank you. Not just me, but everyone in the Discord. But anyway, these Shocklands, super important. Cliff. Jeff. That's a different friend of mine. Jeff has been talking.
You were naming one of the Shocklands. Like I don't think any of them are Cliffs.
They were not. Jeff has been talking about Blood Crypt for the last.
Yes, finally.
I don't know.
Now we can finally play Rakdos in Standard.
Yeah, there you go. It's gonna suck, but whatever.
I don't care. You know how many bad Rakdos decks I'm gonna build? So many.
Yeah, that's true.
But they're not gonna be bad because of the mana. you're going to be bad because of the rest of the deck.
Yes, that's true. I'm going to start it off. Jeff,
Sure.
I've been looking at all these cards. We have been talking for months about like a white weenie deck and what we're thinking it's going to be. We're like, oh, there's all these like sweet Kithkin cards we know we're getting with Lorwyn. But I'm looking around and I don't know what should be on my no pass list for this Kithkin deck that I'm looking at, or really realizing, is it supposed to be a Kithkin deck, or are we building a mono white deck? This is my kind of conundrum here, because I think a lot of the cards that I'm interested in playing, like the ones that say Kithkin on them, we got like Champion of the Klichan, maybe Kithkin Klon. This is like the Kithkin Lord, but you have to be playing a bunch of Kithkin. And when you kind of break it down and look at all the cards, like the deck is like split straight down the middle. It's white and it's green. I don't think you get to play mono white Kithkin because it's just not going to work out. So I've been hemming and hawing, and I really still love the idea of the mono white version. And this is a card people aren't talking about as much to me. Like, I haven't seen people like going crazy over this card, but I do think it plays a role in the deck, even if on its own it doesn't usually check all the boxes that I would normally want cards like this to check.
Okay.
Because it doesn't do anything when it enters. It has some, power, and it can do some stuff, and it's a little snowbally, but if it gets killed right away, nothing happened. So, that is an issue. However, it does have some keywords I'm excited about. So, I don't know how to say this. There are many cards in this set I don't know how to say.
I figured out what card it was, and I was like, I'm excited to hear you pronounce this.
So, I'm going to put on Kin Scare Sentry. I think that's how we're going to say this card.
Sure.
It is 1 and a white for a 2/2 creature Kithkin Soldier at rare. It has First Strike and Lifelink. Those are the two things I love to see on 2-drops. I love 2-drops that have either of those keywords, and this has both of them. So that's very exciting.
Lifelink is so nice on a 2-drop.
It's so nice. It also says, whenever this creature attacks, you may put a creature card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, where X is the number of attacking creatures you control. So that's pretty powerful when you're trying to snowball. And in white, you don't often get haste, but this is basically like cheating mana cost and giving them haste. Like, that's pretty exciting. And obviously, on turn 3, you'd be able to get a 2-drop. But I would really love it if we could, out of nowhere attack and be able to play a Lord or more pump creatures or things like that. There's some cool stuff. Like, we just had Suki from Avatar, which is like a mono white card that cares about pumping your creatures, and when your creatures die, you get more creatures. Like, that's really sick, especially because we want to go really wide in this mono white deck. So I don't know. This is pretty exciting.
It's a cool card.
Yeah. So
I think with these effects, people are always trying to think really big. Like, how can I get a 5-drop, a 6-drop? It's like, okay, but
No.
when you're getting that 6-drop, it's like you're attacking with a lot of creatures. You're probably doing okay.
Yeah, you're winning the game already.
But if just putting a 2 or a 3-drop is super strong on this. And I'm actually thinking about like Boros, just because of how strong it is to play a 3-drop with haste after this, because you get like that 3-drop then, right?
Yes.
Instead of the 2-drops. So you play this with like light chatter or whatever.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay.
That could be pretty sweet, because it's just like 2 3-drops on turn 3. That's obviously the dream, because you had to go 1 2 3 to make that happen, but it's pretty nuts.
Well, the other cool thing with doing Boros, or just like doing a color that has removal, is that oftentimes in this deck it's like, do I remove the blocker or play more creatures to the board? And this kind of lets you do both, where you're like, I can attack you, play my creature for free, and remove the blocker. And it's also attacking. Like, that's all
Yeah,
really
yeah, totally.
exciting.
You could like helix their blocker so that you can attack and then attack and also play the creature you wanted to play.
Exactly, and it's already attacking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and give it haste. You know?
yeah. So that is all very exciting to me. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this card, but it seems exciting to me. Very easy to kill, but
Yeah.
I think that I if I'm playing mono white, I'm gonna try to play this card, and then if it doesn't work out, I'll be kind of bummed. But I want them in my collection so that I can try. You know,
The thing I like least about this card is that it gets spell snared and fatal pushed or whatever, new fatal push.
oh, the new fatal push, yeah, that is true.
But I mean, you can't just
But-
not play 2-drops in aggro decks. Like,
It's true. Like you're just going to, so you just.
but I do
you
think it
just-
puts a bit of a premium on them, right? Like, you gotta think a little more about just like playing all the 2-drops when a card like Spell Snare gets injected into the format.
That's true,
Fucking
and
Spell
yeah,
Probably the best card in this set is a dumb red-blue spell. What a
And-
shocker.
ha, ha. They don't play shock, but yes, it is true. Every time there's another card that people are going crazy over. But I'm like, but this is just in the colors that we've been playing in standard already. Like,
Always.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jeff, what's a card on your no pass list?
All right, I thought I'd kick us off with Jean-Emmanuel Deprat, the world champion, 29. It's Formidable Speaker is his card. So those who don't know, the world champion always gets a card with their likeness on it. And so Formidable Speaker looks like Jean-Emmanuel. And I think they usually show like 3 designs and you get to choose which one you like the best. And that's the one that you put on, or that's how they used to do it.
Yeah.
And this card seems really cool. It's definitely like his type of card too, but it's also my type of card. So Formidable Speaker is 2 and a green for a 2/4. When it enters, you can discard a card. If you do, search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. And then you can pay 1 and tap it to untap another permanent. But it's kind of like, I just love creature tutors specifically. This goes into all of those like creature combo style decks. And I think even in standard right now, it's just a very natural fit for the Sultai Reanimator deck. Because you want to discard your big demons, and then you want to go get your Spider-Man to
That's true.
to do it, and it goes 3 into 4. It's just going to make that like sequence of turn 4 reanimate the demons so much more consistent.
That's true. That is true. I want to ask. Sorry, I don't want to jump off your no pass list, but there's another card that you probably don't want to play, but you could play in that deck because it's double black. But Morn Song Aria is 1 black for a legendary enchantment. It says players can't draw cards or gain life. And at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player loses 3 life, searches their library for a card, and puts it into their hand, and then shuffles. Which would be...
I hate that they get to tutor first.
That is true. But...
That's what makes me nervous about this card. You have to like really believe that your game plan is better or more powerful than theirs
Yeah.
to play something like this, I think, because they get full knowledge that this is happening, and then they get to go get their card
Whatever they
before
want.
you get to do yours. And they'll always be, a tutor ahead, essentially.
That is true. All right.
Although I almost want to side this in for like the other thing of like, you can't gain life and you take 3 a turn.
That is
Let's
true. Yeah. That's...
And see if you can
literally
get out
just-
of it. Do you have any enchantment removal that you can immediately go get and just blow this
Yeah.
up?
That, like, I'm giving you the opportunity. Like, games 2 and 3, did you cite an enchantment removal? Because...
This is my only one.
This is the one.
And it's still gonna like 1 for 1 and you take 3, which is totally fine.
Which is totally fine. Anyway, I didn't want to derail you too much, but I was just thinking about 3-drops that let you go search up a card.
No,
that
yeah,
you
I think Mornsong
specifically
Aria
want.
is a cool card. It makes me nervous because I'm like, usually when these types of cards let your opponent do something first, they're almost always bad, and the ones that let you do it first are almost like always busted. So.
It is true. It's true. But I know it could also just the players can't draw cards could also just be super helpful against any
That's
of
fair
the
too, yeah.
Is it decks, I guess. Actually, I didn't think about that. We're just like
And they have a hard time getting this off the battlefield.
yeah. So you're just
Well, I
actually
guess they don't because they have boomerang basics. But
that's true. They do just go search up that card.
yeah, they just never mind. Their best card handles
Yeah,
this.
it handles this. It's fine. Okay, never mind.
That's why it's their best card. It handles everything.
Right. But no, I think JED, that's a great pick. I'm not as interested. I'm not playing that deck, right? So I don't think that I need copies of this card. And most of the time, if a card says tap, untap something, I just don't care about it.
I don't even care about that ability almost at all.
No, I know, but that because that line of text is on the card, I'm just like it just washes through my brain. Like I'm not gonna.
It's like
play
I'm
this
gonna forget everything I read above it, and
and just like just not do it.
but that's what I wanted to say also because I was talking about this yesterday. I don't know if I mentioned this on the cast actually, but a deck I've been playing is Golgari, like Aristocrats combo, which basically I'm never going to remember the name of this creature, but there's a creature from Avatar that whenever a non-land creature you control dies, you earthbend equal to that creature's power. So if something with 4 power dies, you earthbend 4.
Yeah, it's
And what you
Bayfong
do-
Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, Bayfong Bounty Hunters things. What you do is you get a sack engine, that thing, and a bloodgast. Because the bloodgast will come back anytime the land comes back. And so you can loop infinitely.
Yes.
Because when you sack the land, it will come back to bring back the bloodgast, which you then sack to animate the land, which you then sack to bring back the bloodgast, which you then sack to animate the land, etc. And it's a fun little deck. It's like it adds an infinite combo to like a typical Aristocrats kind of build, is the way I'm playing it. And this would go a long way in that deck as well, because generally the way the deck loses is it just doesn't get the right pieces, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And this you can pitch a Bloodgast to go get the Bayfong Bounty Hunters or whatever.
That's true. And then it's already in the graveyard, and
So there's a couple of decks that I've played that this card would be a nice addition to.
that does sound nice. Okay, I like it.
I was kind of hoping for Chord of Calling in this set, but fine, no Chord.
Yeah. That feels like a little bit of a stretch, but yeah.
Convoke's in the set. It's all
Yeah,
about creatures.
but that's true. But they totally do that thing where they're like, well, that was printed in Ravnica, so it has to be reprinted in Ravnica.
Yeah, they do
like-
that a bit, right? It's either
Except for
core
they said-
sets or Ravnica.
Well, except for they did the Shocklands, so like whatever.
They finally did that.
Nice. One card I do want to talk about, but I don't think I'm going to put this on my no pass list, even though it's it's one that I would like normally want to, but for some reason now I just don't want to because everybody's talking about this card. Hexing Squelcher
Yeah.
is the card. Yeah. Red.
That one was like on my short list to consider, and then I'm like, I don't know if I'm actually going to pick this up. Although, there's a part of me that's interested in looking at the goblins.
I do like
deck.
goblins in general. So Hexing Squelcher, if you haven't seen it yet, it's 1 in red for a 2/2 goblin sorcerer at rare. It says this spell can't be countered, and it has ward pay 2 life. It says spells you control can't be countered, and other creatures you control have ward pay 2 life. I think the best part about this card is that when your opponent tries to kill your creatures, they lose a bunch of life, which is what you want to do in mono red goblin-y decks. But
See, the thing I like most about this card is when my opponent with their smug blue-red deck is sitting over there with their island up for their spell snare. I just play this and I give them the finger.
yeah. I love that Spell Snare's already on your mind so
I hate it so
intensely.
much.
That's why you picked a 3
Ridiculously
drop.
good card
That's,
to give the already best color in the fucking format.
well, like, we talked about this before, that it's like sometimes when they crank up a knob, or they're like, oh, blue red needs to be better, and then they just do that every single
And
set.
then like 4 sets in a row, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like everyone's like, oh my god, because there's so many sets coming out, they just don't have time to like test them and be like, was it good enough the last time? Let's just keep going. So I almost put this in that camp a little bit where it's like the meta we've had for a while is, are you playing Is It or mono red? And like obviously some things have changed. The World Championship happened and there's some cool different stuff going on, even though an Is It deck still won. But like that has been the duality of like, do you just play mono red to beat Is It, or vice versa, or what's going on? And this just feels like another piece in that game. It's just like,
Yeah, this is for like the Is It mirrors, so that
Yeah.
you don't get spell snared.
and then you have your creature and you're attacking or whatever. It's like, it strangely looks like a Timmy card to me, where like it's like, I'm so mad, I don't like my cards getting countered and I don't like my cards getting targeted. This stops both of those things, or this punishes both of those things. And I don't know, there's a part of me that wants it to do nothing in the format.
I mean, I think there's a chance of that, right? Because it's like, it looks great, but then when you actually play, this is one of those cards that seems like the perfect counter to something. And then when you actually play against Lessons or whatever, they just let it resolve, they shock it, they take the 2 damage, and then they move on with their lives.
Yeah.
Like, so this is really like a 2-mana shock to the face. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's like twice as expensive shock.
that can't
It's so
target
true.
creatures.
Like this is the type of card that like starts in your main deck, and then like you move it to your sideboard, and then you take out a few copies, and eventually you have 1 copy, and then you're just like begrudgingly take it out.
Yeah, it's one of those cards, exactly. You have it in your sideboard, and you're still losing in the games when you side it in and draw it, because
Yeah.
it's just like,
Because it's just
doesn't
not
do
doing
as much as I think it does.
Yeah, it would be different if like the meta, like if we were living in a world where the meta is like control based. No, because they're still going to wipe the board anyway against goblins. That's what you're worried about. So
They're just going to take the 2, right? Like,
yeah,
but it makes them kill this first, I guess.
it's true. So like, would you rather be playing Hexing Squelcher, or are you going to play, what's the other card that is just like that? There's a blue-green card, Tam Mindful First Year, which is 1 hybrid Simic for a 2/2 legendary creature, Gorgon Wizard. It says each other creature you control has hexproof hexproof from each of its colors, and then you can tap it. Target creature you control becomes all colors until end of turn. Which is the same type of thing that people were kind of freaking out about this card too. But this has the same issue of like, hey, you just have to kill this one and then kill the thing you want to kill. So
Yeah.
it's just like it has a similar feel.
This is a very weird Mother of Runes impression.
Yes. Seems really fun for commander stuff, because your commander has lots of colors already, assuming. So that feels like what this card is for.
And a 2-mana Mother of Runes is so much worse than a 1-mana Mother of Runes.
It is, because you don't have protection until turn 3, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Although I guess technically, you don't need the tap ability for it to protect stuff. Like,
It's true. Yes, it can come down, and it could be helpful later, where it's like, maybe not you're not playing a mirror, but you're playing where you're like, yeah, I can bring this down, and you can't target my stuff. Though, to be fair, if you're playing a green-blue deck, you kind of wish that your cards were like black, red, or white, because those are the colors you want to get protection from, as opposed to green and blue. So that kind of sucks.
it's also like the worst thing about Mother of Runes is you have like a 1-turn window to kill it, because otherwise it starts protecting itself.
And this one can't protect itself.
Yeah, exactly. So, This one is a much more reasonable design.
Well, I think they learned their lesson, because Mother of Runes, like they already made like a fixed Mother of Runes, and people don't really talk about it very much. So, anyway, I think those two kind of fit into a similar boat, and I guess this is kind of a part of the show where I'm just saying like, maybe don't craft those. They're not as fantastic for standard reasons. If you're
Unless
playing
you're
Brawl
super
or something,
excited about it, like
Yeah.
I'd wait and see.
Yeah, wait and see. Definitely for the the Squelcher. Yeah, I mean, like if you're playing goblins, just play like a common or uncommon goblin, and then if you need to have Hexing Squelcher, then you can use the rare wild card. But like goblins is one of those decks where you can just like play anything with 2 power on 2 and you're fine.
To me, Hexing Squelcher is like a classic. This card doesn't end up being as good as it looks kind of card. It just has that feel to it for me.
Yes.
Where it's like, I feel like this is shock to the face.
Totally. It's just like, it would be really helpful if there were other goblins. I mean, I'm specifically thinking that this is going to a goblins deck. It obviously doesn't have to because it doesn't care about other goblins. But if there are other cards that you can leverage that, well, they have to kill this because otherwise they're going to take too much damage, and then we just kill them with our other cards? Maybe.
Yeah.
And
you want to be aggressive, for sure.
If you're playing, like, 4 copies of Hexing Squelcher, that ward pay 2 does double, and, it goes up and up and up. But...
yeah, if you can get a couple of them out there.
It's true. That is true.
And if you're not against blue-red in particular, you're against some other control deck. Although it's probably blue-black otherwise, so... but maybe blue-white it's okay against? I don't know.
I know, I just feel like blue-white is just going to wipe the board. Like, that's what you're worried about in your goblins.
Yeah,
like, aggro matchup.
Nothing.
And it does literally nothing. And that's, like, the biggest thing, where it's like, this beats control decks. It's like, no. The problem is that you're just going to die.
Especially with Day of Judgment, yeah.
Yeah. Like, or even, like, Split Up. Like...
Split Up, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, what are you going to do? Like, your red deck likes to turn things sideways, and Split Up likes destroying things that are sideways, so doesn't work out. Anyway, I guess that wasn't necessarily an exciting part of the show. That was more of a sad part of the show.
That was for next week because we have an overrated, underrated segment.
That's true. Well, I guess we kind of seeded that one this time.
But it's nice when there's a lot of hype around the set because then it becomes easier to choose those overrated and underrated cards.
It's true. So then we'll just be fighting over who gets to pick that one, I guess.
Yeah. I have an underrated card, speaking of which, that is actually on my no pass list.
Ooh.
That I'm interested in, which is Oko. So Oko Lorwyn Liege is not a card I'm seeing a ton of hype about. But most importantly, they gave him his 8-pack, like they made sure that he was nice and sexy and oiled up for this.
I was going to say the hype I've seen around him is specifically towards his body, yes.
Yeah, they made sure to highlight that again. But he's 3-mana Planeswalker. It's always a bit of an eyebrow raise when you see a 3-mana Planeswalker. They've gotten better at it, but for a while they were just like all busted.
There's 2 in this set, Jeff.
I know, yeah. The other one I'm not that excited about, though. Well, limited is good, but here, this one says +2, up to 1 target creature gains all creature types, and then +1 target creature gets -2/-0 until your next turn. And you could pay green at the beginning of your first main phase to flip him, and he flips into a house. So he has mill 3 cards, -1 to mill 3 cards, put a permanent from among them into your hand. -3, create 2 3/3 green elk creature tokens. -6, choose a creature type. You get an emblem with creatures you control of the chosen type. Get +3/+3 vigilance hexproof. So it's kind of a cool design where it's like a flipping planeswalker. One side has the pluses and one side has the minuses. Obviously, the minus side has some powerful abilities for a 3-mana planeswalker, but it's like kind of a 4-mana one. but you get to split the cost. And then you could pay blue, obviously, to flip it back. These both kind of flip back and forth. I think the backside is undeniably strong. And I'm thinking of this in like sort of a classic like Sultai pile, which I love to build. But what I like about this is I think there's a synergy that is actually pretty strong, which is basically this is a way to get demons without actually having to play any demons. So I think Unholy Annex in this like Sultai deck is going to like the addition of this card, because now I don't have to play Demon Wall or whatever, and I will basically like almost always have a demon with this and like any other changelings, sort of maybe even the Mutavault guy, although I'm not super high on him.
That's what I was thinking.
But that +2, I think, is better than people are giving it credit for, mostly because it sort of turns on the Unholy Annex forever.
Okay. I see that. I have had the pleasure of playing with Oko already.
Yeah.
I guess this is the point of the show where I was part of the streamer event, so I did get to play with some of these cards yesterday. And Oko was in my sealed pool that I had put together. I did learn the lesson. Okay, so everybody out there, this is more about the flipping cards thing. Just remember that the strength from the flip cards is that they flip back and forth often. Don't splash for them. You need to be able to have the lands to do that. Because I was thinking like, I could play this. I'm like blue-red.
Play this off a treasure token.
I have a treasure to flip it to the green side. And then I could flip it back to the blue side. And then I could just never flip it back to the green side. And then I was like, well, this is terrible.
Yeah.
So...
Just making all the creature types here. Everything.
Yeah, or just like, well, I guess your creatures have -2, -0 a lot. So
that's not that bad a limited card, though,
it's
right?
not.
Like you make 2 3/3 elks, and you get to -2, -0 something every turn.
Yes, that is true. So I don't think that I made a gigantic mistake. It wasn't extremely horrible, but I did realize, like, okay, these are a lot better in like focused 2-color decks.
Which I like the design of that, actually, the way they did that, because it's like you actually want to be these colors to get the most out of this card.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of true for about all of the flip cards. There's a bunch of legendary creatures that also flip. But no, this card's pretty sick. I really like your idea with like the actually using the creature types thing, the Unholy Annex and all that stuff. I wonder what other things are out there that could also be kind of interesting that you'd want to randomly have a creature of some type.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like some sort of Sultai mid-range like deck with a mini changeling theme.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Take advantage of the changelings.
Could be pretty interesting. Because it's so funny in general. I think changeling is kind of like a meh. Like I don't like the idea of like, oh, this is also an elf or also a
I don't really
goblin
like
or whatever.
It kind of feels like I think I felt like it was kind of like lazy design when I first encountered it. Or
I think the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then I think specifically when I was a big commander player, they printed a commander called Morophon, which then ended up being like, it's a shapeshifter. It is all the different colors or creature types, and it was like a 5-color commander. And the point of it was that like, oh, if you have a creature type or like a kindred group that you like a lot, this is your commander because you don't have one. And then it just kind of became the de facto, well, you should just play that card because it's better than the other ones that would have been your commander. And then it just kind of like ruined it for me.
Right.
But no, I'm actually kind of coming around to it in a different format where I'm like, oh yeah, it's not, the point isn't that your whole deck is filled with these cards. It's like, no, look at all the cool things I can do with all the different creature types. That's like a deck that's like, oh, we care about creature types, but we only are playing changelings, basically. I like that. Sounds fun. Like, I like it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it just sort of lets you. It's the glue kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because oftentimes these kindred decks just. It's not really enough juice to get there on their own without them really pumping it.
And they can also be kind of annoying where it's like, well, if that doesn't have the word mouse on it, I can't play it, you know?
Right.
Which is just not fun to build. Okay.
Yeah,
for most people.
like if they don't have enough mice, then your deck just builds itself. Like you just play all the non-shitty
It's like,
mice.
well, this is my 2-drop because it has to be, you know?
Yeah.
So, that's why I'm interested in some of these other ones, but like I like this Oko pick. Also not a card that was on my list. I was like, you know, I've been flirting with blue-green, but this is not the kind of blue-green card I'm looking for, you know?
Totally.
I will say, I do flirt a bit. And I already talked about monocolored decks. I'm coming back around to another monocolored deck. And I know we've had this deck around, and it's not really very good. Nobody plays mono black. But there are a couple pieces that are kind of exciting. There's like lots of cool things that you can do, but I don't know if it's the alt art of this card that's pulling me into it, but Moon Shadow, I am a sucker for anything that resembles, you know, a shadow.
I didn't see. You stole my thunder because this is. I was going to end on this. This is on my list because this is my favorite card in the set. It's the one I'm most excited about.
Okay, because I know that you're going to go into like I'm assuming like a Sultai type build thing with this, perhaps?
Oh.
No.
So many decks I want to build with this card.
Okay. Because I'm thinking a little bit more like mono black, just I guess kill and mill sounds like a fun thing to do with this. But I mean, if you see I think it's confetti foil, or actually don't know what it's called.
I have not even
officially
seen that, and this is the card I'm most psyched for. So now
people are going a little
down.
crazy for the alt art that's like the it's just closer up on this thing, whatever it is, and the internet is very excited just about the tongue and the body,
okay. Yeah,
and just kind of
red
forget
one.
about the whole extra limbs on the bottom, Centauri stuff. Yeah, don't think about that.
Yeah.
Just don't think about that. Anyway, let's actually talk about this card. But
The internet's a weird place, man.
it is a really weird place, and I follow the people that are really excited about this card. I'm not excited because of that, but it did make me pause a couple times. Anyway, this is Death Shadow. Sorry, Moon Shadow. Moon Shadow, Moon Shadow.
Different card.
Different card. This is a single black for a 7/7 creature elemental at Mythic. It has Menace, and it says this creature enters with 6 -1/-1 counters. So it's a 1-mana 1/1 Menace. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good.
Play it.
It says whenever one or more permanent cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, while this creature has a -1/-1 counter on it, remove a -1/-1 counter from this creature. Couple things. Obviously, this is kind of the reason it says Shadow in it is because Death Shadow is a card that was a 1-mana, 13/13, and depending on how much how your life total, it changed its power and toughness.
Yeah, it gets -X, where X is your life total.
Which obviously they fixed it because this is a trigger that goes on the stack as opposed to just a static ability, which is way harder to track, and the rules interactions is so annoying with that.
Yeah.
So this is just cleaner as far as game
So many
play
combats where Death Shadows survived, and everyone's like, why does that not die? It's like, well, because the damage to me happens at the same time. So,
Yeah, and so
ugh.
which is kind of what made it really playable. I think the trickiness of it. It had like the Tarmogoyf thing where it's like the lightning bolts in the graveyard, and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
never bolt a 2/3 Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
Unless there's
Unless
already
there's
an instant.
yeah.
in the yard.
So this doesn't have that same issue, but like this card can get really big very quickly when you're playing a deck that's turbo milling into your graveyard. A 7/7 menace is no joke. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, this card is awesome. It's the card I'm like most excited for in this set. It obviously curves perfectly into Town Greeter. It's a nice little bam.
1-2 punch.
And so, yes, obviously I'm going to do some sort of dumb Sultai thing with this. But with this back and now Blood Crypt, my Into deck has got to make a comeback now. The whole like discard permanence deck.
Give it trample.
Which this card is very similar to, in that deck in particular, it's pretty similar to like Marauding Mako. Where it's just every time I discard something, it grows. But having Menace and the extra 4 copies of Marauding Mako is really good for that deck. It does have a slightly suboptimal interaction with Inti, where the +1 counter from the Inti will just cancel out a -1/-1 counter, which you were likely going to remove at some point anyways, and you'd probably prefer that the +1/+1 counter kind of stick
Just
around.
stayed.
But yeah, I mean, still,
Yeah.
it's going to be
Jeff,
a 7/7. It gets trample, menace, etc.
I do want to bring up one thing. You just mentioned a couple cards in your Rakdos deck. So you're telling me you're going to be playing a black 1-drop and
Yes.
a red 1-drop in the same
I
deck?
know. I hate doing
Really?
it, but I hate doing it. But the other option is to play the Stalactite Stalker or whatever instead of the Mako. But the Mako's just so much better.
Yeah.
So that's what's got to happen.
Wow.
And even just this card in Sacrifice is because you just sacrifice creatures and it grows, and even that's something I'm interested in as well. So
That's true. I also like okay, so this dies to requiting Hex or requiting, I don't know. Which is like the new Fatal Push.
pushy kind of card, yeah.
Kind of. It's like the it's less Fatal Push, it's more the counter spell you don't like.
Yeah, it's like the removal version of Spell Snare. Kind
Yeah.
of, because it can hit 1-drops too. But yeah,
That's
it's
true.
like-
So it can also hit 0-drops, so you better watch out your Ornithopters. So that is a bummer, but you can also use it with your dude if you want to blight and gain a couple life. Your Moon Shadow.
yeah,
takes it off.
Playing it with the Blight cards is nice, right? Because it's just the easiest way to get rid of those Blight counters.
Totally.
So I think this type of stuff I'm talking about, of it just growing based on your strategy, is almost like the floor for what this card does. There's probably a bunch of interactions within this set itself that I'm not accounting for. a cool
Absolutely.
card.
Yeah, it's a really cool card. I like it. I like it a lot.
This was the one that when I just read it, I was like, oh, I'm excited for this. This goes in like every single deck I like to play.
Yeah.
Because
and
it
it's
always, I guess, involves permanents going to the graveyard.
of course. Like that's what you do. But it's also a mythic, so like that's the kind of thing where you're like, let's make sure we can get copies of this card. If you see it in a draft, you're not going to see it that often. So snag them up while you can. Save your mythic wild cards, buddy. Keep it around. Well, sweet dude. I think that's all I got for this list here.
Nice. I did have one more.
Okay.
I'm trying to remind myself what it was now, because I was all set to end on Moon Shadow.
Oh, sorry. I screwed it up for you. I
Yes,
get
it's
it.
all
Of
your,
course.
all your
Of course.
fault. Yes.
Classic Zach. Oh, what an
Case that
idiot.
wasn't clear. So there's a few cards I'm interested in, right? Like I think, oh, we got some fairies. Maybe that can complete sort of the first half of the fairies deck they gave us way back when.
Yeah.
Maybe you could play blue-black fairies now. Dawn Hand Dissident, thinks kind of interesting.
That card
Honestly,
is pretty cool. I like that card a lot, actually.
I kind of like it like with Moon Shadow too, but
That is sweet.
could go obviously. I think the most obvious place for it is like a Roots deck, the Golgari
True.
Roots decks. In terms of what sort of already exists,
Yeah. As you like to call the sweatpants decks.
the Sweatpants deck, yeah. And so there's a lot of that stuff, but I was trying to keep it a little tight, and so the card that I'm going to be after is Deceit. I actually kind of will probably be interested in all of the elemental incarnations, but
That's a good shout out.
Deceit itself seems like the best one to me, and this card just seems kind of nuts. And it also goes in, I think, the Sultai Reanimator list, and is good with
sure.
Formidable Speaker, because this is essentially a spell that you can go tutor with Formidable Speaker.
That's true.
Deceit is 4 Demir for a 5/5. When it enters, if blue was spent to cast it, then you return up to one other target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. When it enters, if black was spent to cast it, target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it, that player discards that card, and it has Evoke. So this is just like a Thoughtseize meets like, Boomerang basics meets like 5/5. And sometimes you'll do all three. Sometimes it'll be a 5/5 that Thought seizes and bounce something.
That's so good.
Yeah, just very nice. Goes well with sort of the toolboxy stuff we've been talking about. It's not the best with reanimation because you don't get the ETBs.
Yeah.
But I think it goes in that deck.
Does it work with Cavero, actually?
Yeah, it works with Cavero, but it wouldn't work with like when you bring the demon back and the demon resurrects everything or whatever. It's just a 5/5, I guess, in that situation, which you're probably fine with.
But if you can't find the demon and you have like multiple Caveros in your hand or Superior Spider-Mans. God, I hate that.
This is a bit of like a toolbox card that you're hoping not to Cavero this because that's not the big like KO knockout punch.
But you can.
But you sure as hell can, yeah.
If you're worried about
it's a good play.
Yeah, if you're worried about them like screwing up your graveyard or doing something, you could like Thoughtseize them turn 2, turn 3, go get Cavero with your dude, with JED, and then play Cavero, get the Deceit back, do both of. I guess you can't do. Well, you could do both of the modes if you had like a. If you're playing your Shocklands. I'm not thinking about mana correctly, but yeah, that seems pretty sick. That's like, I like that a lot.
And I like how this handles sort of your biggest. Well, I was going to say it kind of handles your biggest issue, which is Rest in Peace, but I forgot you already have that Saga that does that, which is one of the strengths of the Sultai deck, is that it actually can beat Rest in Peace because the Saga is, part 1 is destroy an online permanent, and part 2 is mill, so it like immediately resets.
Kills, your
it kills the Rest in Peace and then immediately mills you.
Well, that's nice.
And they play 4 of that thing, so... This also provides some insurance because you get to Thoughtseize it or set up a turn where you bounce it. But I think probably between these two things, the deck just doesn't care that much about Rest in Peace.
That's nice.
Like, you need more instant speed removal because you need to wait for them to commit. I'm going to do this. And then you're like, okay, I'll snag that out of your graveyard, exile your graveyard now. So you need like Soul Guide Lantern type stuff, I guess.
Right.
But anyways, Deceit is cool.
It is super cool. I think all the elementals are pretty cool, but yes, you're right.
Yeah, I'm sort of using this as my placeholder for all of them. This is the one I'm most likely to play, and I think looks to me to be the strongest one.
They're all
but-
pretty interesting, though. Like, yeah, I like them.
Yeah. And I like the way they templated these so that it isn't really just a classic reanimator target kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. But these are like the other one, because like we have other cards that are like this. This is just like kind of finishing a cycle. Is that correct? Maybe. Right? Didn't like OG
It,
like
it had
Shadowmoor,
evoke creatures
Lorwyn-
that just had ETBs though. They
Oh,
didn't
I'm
have
thinking.
like the if you cast it with this mana kind of riders.
Really? I swear that there were other cards that were like this. Maybe I was thinking more so of just the
Maybe in
What
a
are those-
modern set.
maybe in a modern set actually. But no, there were those cards that were like a million pips, and it's like green creatures get this, red creatures get this, or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, right. Yeah.
That kind of
The
thing.
lieges.
Yes. Which have also had like a wall of text, and a
That
million
involved like the two different
colors and
that they
what
are,
you,
yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah. Anyway, sweet stuff, man.
Oh, lots of cool stuff.
Lots of cool stuff. Sorry, I'm just looking at Shadowmoor now, just like, and it's just like, oh, so sick. Anyway, Jeff, are you ready to
Yes.
play our favorite game, the Pack Zero Pick One Challenge,
Sure
which
am.
we personally did not come up with, but Magic Data Science on Blue Sky and Twitter did, and it's our favorite game. It's so fun. We pick 8 cards, and you just try to guess what the best ones, the best percentages they will have in game in hand win rate on 17lands.com. And we're picking commons. We're picking gold signposts. That's basically the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough game.
It is a very
Yeah.
tough game. I was going to ask you to explain it, but then I kind of explained the whole thing. So I'll finish explaining. We pick one of every color, so white, blue, black, red, green, 2 miscellaneous commons, and then a gold signpost uncommon, and then a tiebreaker rare, which doesn't really matter, but it's still fun. And
Yep.
then Jeff always has a little surprise for us at the end, so I guess wait for that. I will say, like I do every single time we play this game, I picked all of my picks before the streamer event, okay? Yeah. And Jeff likes... So I actually had them send me my my actual picks, and I have an email that has the picks that says date stamped when I put this in. It was Tuesday night. I had a couple beers, and I picked my
It's
picks.
the right way to do it.
And because of that, I'm now looking at my picks and being like, kind of wish I didn't pick these, all of them. So I'm not feeling great about this one. More so in the sense that it's a little boring. I feel like I just kind of went so safe with it, and I'm mad at myself.
Honestly, though, like, it's hard not to with this set. I found when I was looking through it, I was just like, every color has like an obvious pick, in my opinion. And I tried to take some. I
Jeff,
tried to veer from that a little bit.
it always feels like there's an obvious pick, and then you get blown out of the water because there's something else that was like, well, yeah, but that one, okay, well, sure, I guess,
Totally.
maybe.
Yeah.
So it's that's what's hard about this game, is that you think you've got it nailed down because obviously it's got to be these cards, and then you lose.
For me, it was so interesting because I feel like every set just had one or even 2 good removal spells, and it's to the point where I was just like, they've put so many of these in there that I'm starting to think they're not going to be good because they've juiced the single target removal. So like they know, it's like they know something I don't, kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I walking in right into a trap by picking all of these? 'Cause Like, their very existence might imply that this set is... It's not as important to have single target removal as usual.
Well, that's what's so hard. This game is just so hard. It's and you always get thrown off. Anyway, Jeff, I have my first one here. I'm ready. I'm going to start us off with white.
Do it.
There were technically a couple different picks that you could make. But I will say, starting us off, the commons in the set, not a little lackluster. You know, we're not. There's nothing.
I think white had like 4 commons that I thought were good at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just have to, out of these 4, pick
Jeff,
one.
I also wanted to start and remind you that this set has common cards that are hybrid mana. So
Yes,
you could be picking the hybrid card as your colored things.
I appreciate the reminder. I would never forget such a thing.
Yeah, there was just one time we did this and Jeff didn't even realize that there were ones, and there were some very good cards.
They were all so good.
Yeah. The best card in the set, was one of those hybrid commons.
It happened to be a common.
Yeah. Anyway, white, oftentimes it could be like a creature. It could be a removal spell. We've never seen a white combat trick be the best. Often, cheaper creatures are good, but looking at everything, I was like, you know what? This card just seems solid. I don't know how I can not pick this card. But I could be wrong. I picked one of the removal spells. I picked Liminal Hold.
Okay. I was wondering which one it was going to be.
Yeah, I picked the 4-mana one. It's 3 and a white for an enchantment. When this enchantment enters, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. You gain 2 life. We've seen this card before. Not as this, not the same name, but the gain 2 life, exile whatever you want.
Yeah.
For 4 mana. 4 is kind of expensive, but I don't love a bunch of the removal in the set, and because like white decks want to be on the ground attacking, you can trade off your little creatures with their little stuff, and you'll need a big removal spell to get rid of the big stuff. So this is going to be much more important in Kithkin decks, I think. So that's why I picked it.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, right? Like, aggro decks actually want the big removal spells because that's the blocker for them. And control decks want the little removal spells because that's what keeps them alive.
Yes.
So I originally also had that pick, and then I felt like my picks were boring, and I started to second guess everything, and I was like, why is there so much removal in this set? Maybe it's because I shouldn't be picking removal. And so I think I have a spicy pick for white in the end, which could be my undoing. But for white, I chose Sun Dappled Celebrant, which is 4 white for a 5/6 vigilance with Convoke. And so I'm just looking at all of the stuff going on in white, all the little creatures and stuff, and I'm like, this is feeling closer and closer to like a 4-mana 5/6 vigilance, which is a house.
Is a house.
So I don't know. I'm picking that, and I'm sure at the end I'll be like, I should have just fucking taken the removal spell. But we're going Sun Dappled Celebrant to set ourselves apart here.
That was one of the ones I was looking at, to be fair. I do like that.
The stats are juiced on it, man. 5/6 and Vigilance. So if you get that down early, it just dominates the board on offense and defense. I think if it didn't have Vigilance, I wouldn't pick it. But Vigilance is almost like the perfect thing for it to have, because it's just like, you're going to feel like, what am I supposed to do against a 5/6 Vigilance on turn 4?
This is also like a Kithkin card. Like it goes in the same deck we were talking about. Though my removal spell beats it. Just if they're up against each other.
I forgot about the head-to-head.
Yes, yeah. So we do get extra points for that. So currently I'm winning. We're going to stake draft this. Jeff, blue card. What's your blue card here?
My blue card, again, and maybe I'm just like too high on Convoke or something, but this one felt like I had to go Temporal Cleansing, which is 3 and a blue for a sorcery with Convoke. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it into their library second from the top or on the bottom. Yeah, man. If you can spend... Like, that's a strong ability if you could get it for, like, 2 mana. You know what I mean?
It's pretty good. Or for free.
Right.
It's always fun to block a bunch of stuff and then tap all your creatures to play a spell your opponent didn't know about, and then get the other unblocked creature out of the way, or whatever you need. That's super sweet. Also, blue specifically cares about tapping their creatures because merfolk like to tap and do tappy stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. This just felt like a safe pick, I guess, for blue.
It's definitely a good one, and this card type in general, the 4 mana, put something second from the top or on the bottom, has performed quite well. I mean, I didn't pick it, but
good. I was worried we would all just pick like the same removal spells. And then...
Well, no, because you know that I like the blue aura-based removal, and I like this Blossom Bind quite a bit.
I did know that you were going to pick Blossom Bind.
Yeah.
Which is always like, does that mean I shouldn't pick Blossom Bind?
Because Zach's going to pick it. Blossom Bind is 1 and a blue for an enchantment aura, enchanted creature. It says, when this aura enters, tap enchanted creature. Okay, I've seen this before. Blah, 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 blah. It can't untap during its controller's untap. No! Enchanted creature can't become untapped and can't have counters put on it.
I love that you can't blight it.
I love you can't blight it. There isn't a big sacrifice thing in this set. You cannot untap it, no matter what. Love that. Obviously, you can still blow up the Blossom Bind. You can still bounce it back to your hand. Blah, 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 blah. But the fact that it can't untap, you can't even do like during your untap step, it doesn't untap. But I have other ways to untap it, so I still get to use it. That's the biggest weakness with like the dehydration effects. And this one just jumped out at me. And I like it. Is it going to be great? I hope so. Did I play with it and am worried now? Yeah. Yes, I am.
Sure I am.
But that's okay. That is okay.
What'd you pick for black?
All right, so black. I'm continuing the... Hey, I picked a removal for white. I picked a removal for blue. Let's go back to the well and pick removal for black.
I mean, I think you kind of have to here.
The thing is, oftentimes you want to pick removal for black, but as we're kind of going through this, like, I know I was just really underwhelmed with a bunch of the removal in this set, just in general, and black in particular. Like, there's 3 removal spells, and they all feel very kind of meh to me.
Really? One of them feels great to me.
Like, there's one that can either do -2/-2 or eat something out of your opponent's hand.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that puts 4 -1/-1 counters on something. And then the one that I picked is the other one. I picked Bog Slither's Embrace, which is 1 and a black for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you can blight 1 or pay 3 mana, so it's really 5 mana, and you exile target creature. But I thought it was really important that the black removal spell that I pick should be the one that kills anything, and that you could do that for 2 mana. It is sorcery speed, but blight 1 is not hard to have. Like, there's a lot of like 1/2s and 1/3s walking around here, and 2 mana exile a creature is pretty good. So
that's what I was gonna say. Like, I picked this card too, and I was like, doesn't this card seem great? Maybe I'm underrating how much of a downside blighting is, but it doesn't even seem like it really is. Like, this is awfully close to 2 mana exile target creature, was my thinking.
The big thing is that it's one of those problems where it's like, when you don't have a creature to blight, it kind of and you're behind,
then
it
you
really
have to pay
sucks.
5. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you're trying to play a blocker, like you want to play a blocker and this, and it's like, now I have to make my blocker not trade now because of this stupid thing, and I have to do it right now because of the sorcery speed. I will say that's what I was really worried about. The blighting in general, all the -1/-1 counters. This is kind of the first time we get to talk about it because we haven't really dove into some of the mechanics yet. But from my experience so far, I actually think blighting is more of what you said. I was really worried about it. That's why this pick, I was like, I don't know. I don't really like a lot of this stuff. But the more I was playing around with blight and putting blight counters on things, I'm like, this is not a problem whatsoever. They did an amazing job building the set where, like, this is a quick tangent, but when we've had -1/-1 counters in sets previously, Amonkhet is really the one that comes to mind.
Ugh.
Like, that, the way that they built that was so bad that, like, there were so many cards that, like, the point of it was like, play this bigger creature and you just dump the counters on a smaller one and kill it or whatever, and then you have this big creature, and that's like the payoff is that, like, now you have a big creature. But like in this set, it's like, yeah, you blight on your creatures, but like you can either dump it on a smaller one or you have to dump it on the one that you played. But they all have ways to take the counters off inherently in it, and they're all basically spells. So it's like, actually, this is amazing. Actually, I want counters on my stuff so I can use the spell part. Like,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's going to be times when this is an upside. Right? It's like,
where you're like, I need to do this thing, which is super cool. It does kind of mean that, like, X ones get worse because you can't blight with them. So you're like, this is gonna, this sucks.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at Moonglove Extractor, being like, the fuck were you thinking, buddy?
Exactly. But that card's really good, and that's why they did that. So,
yeah.
So, and there are a bunch of, like, 2-mana 1/3s because you're going to be blighting on stuff. So, I think this is actually a pretty good pick. I'm happy with this removal spell, and I think that putting -1/-1 counters on your creatures doesn't necessarily have to be like what your deck is doing. Like, you don't have to have an engine, as opposed to in the past it was like you either do the -1/-1 counter thing or you don't. This is like, it can kind of come in and out. It doesn't really matter. And like
I'll probably still play this in Goblins or whatever.
Yeah,
I guess that's where you want it. But like,
well, in Goblins, this is just 2 mana, sack a creature, exile something, right?
yeah.
But no,
maybe the thing I'm sacking is Bilefile Boggart.
Yeah, or the Bilefile puts a -1/-1 counter on one of their creatures, but it could be there's an uncommon that's a 2/1 that when it dies you get to kill a creature with 2 power or less. That's pretty sick. So, like,
that's the dream. You just gave me the dream.
Yeah, you, like, attack for 2. Your opponent's like, I'm not going to block that because then I'm going to trade.
I
and
don't
then
know what's going on.
You hit them for 2. You play this, exile their biggest thing, kill the other thing. You're like, that's the play.
Should have blocked.
Right there.
I would have been screwed.
Yeah,
boom. That's a hell of a bluff.
And luckily, your uncommon creature can't block, so it's obvious. It's very like, might as well attack, can't block, right?
Yeah.
I don't care if I die. I kill your creature.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, I was psyched about Bogslither's Embrace. I thought that was a good pick.
Okay.
And I was fairly confident you were also going to pick it. So
I wasn't really excited by it, obviously, as you can see, but it was the obvious choice.
Which brings me to red, which for me was the easiest choice by a long shot. I don't know. This card seems nuts too. Maybe even more nuts. Probably more nuts than Bogslither's Embrace to me. And so I picked Cinderstrike.
Yeah, I did too.
Which is red mana for a sorcery. Additional cost to cast it, you may blight 1. Deals 2 damage to our creature. Deals 4 if you blight it instead. Yeah. Flame Slash? Okay. I'll take Flame Slash.
Yeah.
Crazy card. Kind of like, when I read it, I was like, well, I don't even have to read the rest of these red cards because I know which one. If something else beats this, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, it is funny because usually sorcery speed is such a huge downside to me, but these ones feel so juiced that it does feel like you kind of have to pick them.
Yeah, it feels like they gave you like really juiced sorceries, and then like Tweeze is good, but
Yeah,
it's a little expensive.
3 mana deal 3, even when you get to rummage, is a bit rough. So yeah, I don't know about that, but anyway, it's Cinder Strike is just where you wanna. It's where you want to be.
And Cinder Strike's awesome.
There's another thing I quickly wanted to mention as we're on red cards, but last set we had like land cyclers. So we had like plains, island, swamp, blah 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 blah. And we've had sets where we've had basic land cycling before, but it was only on the green card. Which is like, oh yeah, the green card fixes your mana, that's fine. This set, we have 2 basic land cyclers in common, but one of them's blue and one of them's red. And that is not usually the colors
that is weird. Yeah.
that are fixing your mana this way. And I am here for it. I think this is so interesting and different, and makes it so that it's kind of telling you, because you don't have a green one. So it's like, there's a vivid mechanic which wants you to have a bunch of different colored permanents. And it's like, vivid is a teamer mechanic because it's the comments are trying to tell you that.
Base teamer, yeah.
Base teamer, and then you do the other things. And this is how they're showing you that. It's so...
And I love that that it's elementals that do it too, because
Mm-hmm.
that kind of makes some sense. Then it's like, oh, they're in tune with with the world or whatever. Like they are an element.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So it kind of makes sense that a red card can do that. Where if it's like a wizard or something, you're like, what's happening here?
That's wizard almost, because they might know.
Maybe wizard is the bad example,
but like a goblin or some sort of like cobalt or something, it'd be like
it's a merfolk. You're like, okay,
yeah, you're like,
I don't know how merfolks
really.
getting the planes.
Anyway, I don't think those cards are going to be amazing or even really great, but I just thought that was really interesting as far as comments go.
That is something I hadn't noticed. I just kind of looked at those cards, was like, that seems bad, and blew past it.
Yeah, well, because then I was looking for like, where's the black one? Where's the white one? And there wasn't.
Right.
And I was like, where's the green one? I was like, wait.
Whoa,
what?
that's
when I was like, that is wild.
Very cool. Whoever thought of that, kudos.
Yeah, kudos. Super cool. Anyway, so moving on to green. I didn't pick the removal spell. I know.
No, that means we probably picked the same card.
It's crazy. There is a card that looks very good, but I picked another one.
Okay, that was a weird choice. The card that looked amazing, but I didn't pick that one.
Didn't
I
pick
picked this
that
card
one.
that looked mediocre.
I did decide that I know there's a bunch of blight stuff going on. I know that we might be wanting to do those types of things, but there is a card that I want to be playing early, and I think will be really helpful in this specific deck that is going to be going around in this, that I think is probably going to be pretty strong. It's one of the stronger ones. I did pick Lisa Lana Informant, which is 1 and a green for a 3/1 elf scout. It says when this creature enters or dies, you surveil one. This card in general we've seen it before, so this isn't news to us. There's a dog in Duskmourn that was this card that was really good. And the elf deck specifically cares about your graveyard and making sure you have elves in there for all your other cards to work. This is going to be a house in that, and also trades off really well. Has a really bad matchup against Kithkin, but besides that, I think you're pretty good. I guess goblins too. Kithkin and goblins are not great. But I could see you wanting to have, like, if I see this as a 2-drop against, like, on my opponent's side, I'm like, ugh. All the removal I've cared about, every single removal spell that I care about, kills big things, kills big things, kills big things, kills big things. This stupid piece of garbage is here, and I'm like, God damn
Yeah,
it.
you just don't feel good. Like, even Cinder striking it, you're like,
No, you're like, oh.
let's get that Surveil. Yeah, it seems like that exact kind of card. I love that pick. And I love 3/1s for 2. That's just like
I also
my
do.
jam.
Yes.
So I love that. I didn't go that way. I picked Great Forest Druid because I was like,
Okay.
this thing seems kind of nuts because it's a great blight target because it's an 0/4.
Great play
And
target.
so it's 1 and a green for a Tree Folk Druid 0/4, and it taps to add 1 mana of any color. Mana accelerants are great. 0/4 is great because you don't mind dumping at up to 3 counters here. Adding 1 mana of any color is exceptionally strong for
Yes.
a 2-drop. Normally this would tap for green, not for any color. I don't know, this one seemed, again, we keep using the word juiced, but this one seemed juiced. And I was like, this type of card has often been the best green common. And this one seems like a particularly pushed version of that effect.
I do like that it is an 0/4. That actually is huge here.
Right.
I did
At first I was like, 0/4, that's weird. And I was like, actually, that's way better than if this was a 1/1 or like a 1/2, which it normally would be.
which like green specifically doesn't care about blighting, but there are a lot of other colors that do have blight stuff that will
Right, like a green-black
dump stuff.
kind of
green red.
deck.
Super sweet card. Okay, all right. Nice. I like where we're at. What were you thinking for your miscellaneous cards?
All right, I did have to insure myself a little bit against the Sun-Dappled Celebrant pick, and so I decided to choose one of the white removal spells, but I didn't pick Liminal Hold, actually.
Okay.
I decided to slot in Spiral into Solitude here. Again, this is kind of on theme with me thinking blighting your own stuff ranges from not that bad to actively good. And so I guess I should read it. Spiral into Solitude it's essentially the pacifism of the set, but it's 1 and a white for an enchant creature. Enchanted creature can attack or block, and then you can pay 1 and a white, blight 1, and sack it to exile the creature. So we often see this, but usually the cost to exile is really high.
Like
Here-
5 mana or something.
Yeah, or 5, 6, whatever. Here it's not that high. It's just the main thing is kind of to blight, and I'm kind of into this. I like that it's cheap. I think that was ultimately what it came down to. I was like, one of these white removal spells is going to be the better white removal spell. One's way more powerful, but the other one's cheaper. Kind of, it's mostly a guess. Like, you don't know what kind of format this is.
Yeah, it's very true. But I do like that you can do this at instant speed. Is really nice. So like
You can blight it at instant speed. Yeah.
So you do. There are certain situations.
For a second, I was like, "Does this thing have flash?" Because I didn't notice that, and this would have been the easiest choice ever if it did.
No,
when you
no,
said
no.
that, I was like, "What the?"
I just mean like if you're in a situation where you need to blight one of your creatures that's like obviously gonna die, you can exile the thing with it.
Like you can kind of pick it up for free.
Yes, you get to exile their thing basically for free if you have the open mana. Or weird combat things or whatever you want to do. But this was my main choice, obviously, between the white cards. But and it usually comes down to that. Like, oftentimes it is the removal spells. So like, but also sometimes it could easily just be like one of the 2 mana 2/2s that you're like, all right, sure, I guess that card's great too. Which kind of leads me into my miscellaneous pick is I decided to pick a white 2-drop because those are good. And
Sure.
I talked about this earlier in the episode, but 2 mana, 2 power creatures that have first strike, I do like. So I picked Feisty Spikeling, which is 1 and a hybrid Boros. So it's either white or red, but I'm going to consider it a white card. So it's a 2-mana 2/1 shapeshifter. It has changeling, so it's all the creature types. So really what matters is it's a Kithkin. And during your turn, this creature has first strike. So you can't blight onto this, obviously. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess...
Which is why I like it as a white card more than a red one.
Yes. Because you would want to play this with your Cinder Strikes. But it's basically a Kithkin that has first strike, and that's why I like it. This is such an annoying, weird card. Also, I will say, these random common changeling things, being able to help you champion out your crap, is good. If you can behold something and you just have this changeling in your hand, that's great. I really like this first striking one. However, I will say that the one when I was playing in the streamer event that was the bane of my existence was the freaking 2/3 lifelink.
That's the one I was looking at when I'm looking at these now. It's like 2/3 lifelink changeling.
Yeah, that's the one that ended up being like, I also had looked at it when I was doing this, but I was like 3 mana 2/3. Oh, I love the lifelink, but it hurts me so much.
Special, man.
But it's literally the opposite of what you pay Feisty Spikeling, they play the Prideful Feastling, you're like, all right, my life is over. I cannot win this game. Like, that's basically what happens.
I guess I'll Cinder Strike it, killing my own Spikeling.
2 for 1 myself to make sure you don't gain any life.
Yeah.
That's basically what it kind of feels like. Just,
I can see that.
Rough. Yeah.
But I can't believe you didn't pick it. We love 2 mana or 3 mana 2/3s here, man.
No, but they've just been printing so many 2 mana 2/3s that I'm like, how could I pick? How could I just do that? So, anyway, Feisty Spikeling, I picked it. It's here. Get used to it.
I don't think I can.
Which then brings me to my next miscellaneous card, which is actually a green card that you didn't pick either.
Oh.
Which I was a little surprised by. I thought this would at least be on your radar a little bit, but like, maybe I'm just so dialed into this. Like, you're really dialed into like the blight thing, I feel like, and I'm really dialed into like
Psyched for blight,
Kithkin aggro. But I picked Mist Meadow Council, which is 4 and a green for a 4/3 creature Kithkin advisor. It says this spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a Kithkin. And it says when this creature enters, draw a card. I think this is the type of card that the Kithkin decks will want at the top end, where like you will need a little bit of power to get over the edge. And being able to slam this on 4 and draw another card and then push yourself through to the end game is what this card's going to do. And, you know, traditionally drawing cards is good. It's just one of the more expensive ones that we've seen. Often this is like a 2 mana or 3 mana card. So
yeah, I thought about this card because I liked the draw card ETB. Yeah. I was a little nervous about the 3 toughness though. That was kind of the main thing that I think kind of kept me away from it. But I like it. It was definitely in consideration because basically the first scan I do is like, do we have like a Satyr Wayfinder kind of card? Because that's a shoe-in. And then if we don't have that, then do we have removal? The answer was like basically no.
Yeah, Green's removal is...
Yeah. You'd have Assert Perfection, but like, ugh, I was not excited about Assert Perfection.
I'm so low on like fight or bite spells now. There's so... I just never...
I don't know. A sorcery speed 2 mana bite spell that just gives +1/+0, which almost never like makes the difference.
Yeah.
Not into it. Not into it. Anyway, I think that's a super reasonable pick. I made another pick that is just similar in the sense that I wanted to have a creature with ETB on my roster because those often perform well.
They are.
And I make a bit of a bet on what deck I'm hoping is successful here. And so my last common is Elder Auntie, which is
okay.
2 and a red for a 2/2 Goblin Warlock. When it enters, create a 1/1 black and red Goblin creature token. So it's a classic sort of card that sometimes gets there and is one of the better commons, and sometimes does not. What's going to matter here is if Goblins is the archetype you want to be in, successful archetype. Because then 3 mana, 3/3 distributed across 2 bodies with a creature type that matters is quite strong. So that's kind of the gamble we're making here. I think the card's fine. The baseline is fine, right? Like 3 mana, 3/3 in red across 2 bodies is solid. But the bet we're making here is that Goblins is going to be...
It's going to be good.
Appealing.
Okay, interesting. All right. Well, I'm excited. Does that mean, well, then Jeff, like, what's your gold signpost then? Are you diving deep?
It's a great question because hell yeah, we doubled down.
Yeah.
I picked Bogart Curse Crafter.
Nice.
Which is black. I mean, come on. I was picking this card. I picked before the Auntie because I was like, I read the signpost on comments. I'm like, hell yeah, that's my card. Black red for a Goblin Warlock 2/3 with Death Touch. Whenever another Goblin you control dies, deals 1 damage to each opponent. You give me a Rakdos Goblin Blood Artist. I'm gonna choose it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. I understand what you're doing here. I'm not on board with it, and I don't like it. And I also think I don't really care about it, because this gold signpost uncommon that I picked goes with everything I've been talking about this whole time, which is
Thought better be a Kithkin, man.
It's a Thought Weft Lieutenant, green and white for a 2/2 Kithkin Soldier, Lieutenant. Whenever this creature or another Kithkin you control enters, target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains trample until end of turn.
I did look at this one.
So we can just trample right over all your little goblins, and we don't care.
Yeah, I did like it, and I was like, there's probably like at least a 50-50 chance that this is what Zach chooses. But
yeah. So I'm putting a bunch of eggs into the. I think Kithkin green-white aggro could be really great, and you're saying the Rakdos goblins. You know what? Honestly, this is what you got to do. You got to just pick a deck and be like, this is it. This is what we're going for.
I think with these Kindred sets, that's definitely the most fun way to play this. Like, you could try to hedge your bets, be like, I will take 1 from every creature type, and therefore I shall be right.
It's like, no, because then you're going to be very wrong. Because then, like, only a couple of them will be good. You
just got to go all in, and then when Goblins is a bad deck, you accept defeat.
Yes, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
obviously,
I'm ready for that inevitability.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Quickly, let's do our tiebreaker rares.
Tiebreaker rare, yes.
So I will go first.
Sure.
And shocker, it's not a Kithkin card. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Crazy. But it is a green card. And this card feels fairly unbeatable unless you have removal for it. I just feel like it's just going to steamroll everybody, and I will hate to see it on my opponent's side of the board, and I'm going to see it a lot. That card is Sapling Nursery. It is 6 green for an enchantment at rare. It has affinity for forests. And it says landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, create a 3/4 green tree folk creature token with reach. And you can pay 1 and a green, exile this enchantment. Tree folk and forest you control gain indestructible until end of turn. This is so annoying.
Yeah, that seems strong.
It's the kind of thing where it's like, as far as green decks go, it doesn't go in the Vivid deck, but like any other green deck that can play this card is like, sure. If we're playing it, it is towards the top end, but if you can stabilize the board, you do just win the game. Sorry, I just like spiked my mic, but 3/4s with reach is really hard to get through.
There's some big creature tokens, man.
Yeah. And even if you do a full kamikaze swing out, try to kill everything, you could just give them indestructible. And then, it's just...
I kind of missed this card. To be fair, when I was doing this segment, I never spent that much time on the tiebreaker.
Of course. Of course.
But I look for the same thing. Like, I look for what is a card that wins the game on its own. Mm-hmm. Because I think in the past it's been tempting to like, oh, you choose a Wrath or something with a raw power level, and you're like, no, actually, what you need is just like a single card that just
that's your game plan.
That's what limited is going to have favor for this metric, and this is definitely one of those. The one that I found was Kin Binding. Which is 3 white for an enchantment. It says creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures that entered the battlefield under your control this turn. At the beginning of combat, you create a 1/1 Githkin. Which was funny because I picked the Githkin card.
That is actually pretty funny.
But yeah, this is just the type of card that, like, it's a little expensive, sure. Like, to pay 5 mana for essentially a 1/1 and an Anthem.
On your turn.
Yeah, but that's like the bare minimum, and then every time you play any creature, like it gets out of hand so quickly, and you just imagine like a stalled board or a top deck war or almost any situation, like this is just going to win the game on its own.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah,
because like I also just love that this is like, even if you keep drawing lands, that's basically both of these are like, if you keep drawing lands,
that's what I liked
still
about your
win.
pick too, right? It's like I love those cards that make you happy to draw lands in the late game, because then every draw is good.
Yeah, it's like if I draw land, great. If I don't draw land, awesome. Like,
yeah,
it does not matter.
Play that.
Yeah,
and that's when I top deck like a weird duress that I put inside of it. Fuck, the only bad draw in the whole deck.
Why would you ever play that card? I will say, after going through this whole thing, and after you've picked and I've picked and all that stuff, I am afraid that Chronicle of Victory is going to be a card that is going to hurt us so much. It doesn't do the thing that we said it does, right? It's an artifact. It costs 6 mana. You choose a creature type. It's an Anthem, so all those creatures get +2/+2, first strike and trample. And then whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, you draw a card. So it doesn't win on its own, but once it goes on the battlefield, it's really hard to win the game in most decks.
Sure.
Even if your opponent only has like one creature, you're like, okay, how do I beat you if you're just like, all right, play another goblin, draw a card, it's a 3/3 with first strike trample. You're like, I can't really fight this. So Elder Auntie with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
But it's a mythic, right?
It is a mythic. You're right. So we couldn't pick it. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're so, oh, you did. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you for making me feel better. Oh, weight off of my shoulders right there. Felt so so dumb for a minute. Yeah, but then I was searching it up with rares and mythics together. Oh. Well, okay. No, I'm right. I like what I picked. All right, perfect. Great. Erase all that. Editor, erase all that. All right, Jeff. It is time. Do you have a surprise for us? Surprise. Do you have the thing?
I do. So it's time for man versus machine.
Yes.
We have Gemini, which I'm trying to remember when the last time we did this was. I guess I could have looked up when Avatar came out and when Gemini 3 came out. But I think this is an upgraded Gemini from what we've been battling previously.
Okay. Does that mean that you think it's really good?
I don't think we're guaranteed to win this time.
Oh no.
This is the turning point in history, folks. And the war man versus machine has taken a decided turn. I'm not saying Gemini's going to beat us, but I don't think Gemini made any...
Glaring
It
mistakes.
wasn't not like last time. Okay, so what we do is I asked Gemini to make its picks, and I didn't even have to tell it got things wrong this time, because usually it'll be like, this card is only 1 mana, and I'm like, well, no, it's actually 5 mana. It would be insane at 1. But no, it just got all of the cards right, and it made some reasonable choices. So its white pick was Marrow Sky Swimmer,
Okay.
which is the blue-white hybrid one.
That makes the merfolk. That
Yeah,
has
it has
Convoke.
Convoke. It's like a Windrake for 5 that has Convoke and makes a merfolk. Not what I would have
And-
picked, but I thought it's reasonable.
I thought about it, honestly. I thought about
Yeah, I looked at it. I was like, okay, it's a card. For best blue common, it picked Temporal Cleansing.
it. Okay.
Best black common, it thought Bog Slither's Embrace is going to be
Okay.
the best
That's the
black
same
common.
one we picked, yep.
Best red common, it picked Cinder Strike.
Oh,
It
no.
had no question about that one. The best green common, it did pick Assert Perfection, which I think is
Okay.
hopefully where we can make some
Beat it.
ground up against it. It picked the removal spell that we thought was not that good.
Yeah. Never picked the green
then-
removal.
Yeah,
Never picked green
exactly.
removal.
The bite spell. It needs to learn. It did pick Spiral into Solitude as its extra.
Okay.
And then it picked Blight Rot as its second miscellaneous, which is the 4 -1/-1 counters.
Oh, okay.
So it just picked all removal, basically, and the Sky Swimmer. And you're going to love this.
Interesting.
The Signpost Uncommon, Thought Weft Lieutenant.
Oh, no. I'm doomed now. Oh, no.
And then I thought the best rare would be Champions of the Perfect.
That card is very good, though. Yeah. it
Oh,
is.
and I read it after I looked at this. I was like, wow, this card's pretty fucking good, too.
Yeah, so it's the elf. It's like 4 mana for a 6/6. You can behold an elf, and you have to exile it. So that's the biggest thing. There's a whole cycle of rares that are champions, and so you can either show like point at a card on the table that's an elf, or show one from your hand that's an elf, and you exile it. And the 4 mana 6/6 says whenever you cast a creature, it doesn't even have to be an elf. When you cast a creature, you draw a card.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
that
whenever-
Beastmaster thing going on.
Yeah, whenever your 6/6 dies, then you
It's
get
cool.
your elf back or whatever. But like, holy crap! Like that is okay. Well, I can't even afford to kill this because none of my cards let me do that yet. And you're just drawing a bunch of cards, and you get your dude back.
Yeah, it's a 6/6.
The 6/6 is huge. Like I'm glad that the green one is really the biggest one because the red one's like a 7/3. But no, that's after playing the set a couple. I kept seeing that card, and there was one draft where like my pack one pick one was between that and another card that was really cool. I ended up picking the other one just because I was like, let's just try to. Oh no, it was. Do I pick Deceit or do I pick the champion? And I picked Deceit instead. And Champion of the Perfect ended up beating the crap out of me the next game. And I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Of course that's what happens.
Yeah, it seems
But-
like a hell of a card.
It's hell of a card. All right. You're okay. I am a little nervous now.
Gemini stepped up its game, and like we could very well lose to Gemini this week. That is on the table.
Jeff,
It doesn't have any really, really dumb picks like it did before.
it was so bad last time. Like, laughable. What happens if we lose to Gemini? Do we just stop playing this game?
Yeah, we just start letting Gemini play for us.
That's not fun, though. Like, what's the point?
I think we
Ugh.
can win. I think the assert perfection is the weak point in their choices. But
I also think the white card, I think we can beat the white card, too.
yeah, like I read that white card, I was intrigued, but then I was like, come on, white's got more to offer. I think.
Like you're not gonna be fighting over the 5-drop.
It's a bit of a bet on
Maybe.
Merfolk, I guess.
Yeah, but like that's also a card you can play in Kithkin too. Okay, I don't know. Now it makes me a little nervous. We'll see. I don't know. Okay. All right, Gemini.
Everything's on the line.
I'll see you in a couple months. Or I guess 1 month, basically. Whenever TMNT comes out.
Yeah, month and a half.
Gosh, Magic moves so fast. Just like life. And this episode, as it's ending very soon. Jeff, would you like to go to last call?
Let's do it.
All right. So, as always, we rate our beers on a scale from bronze to mythic, just like the tiers in Arena. So, we're going to do that right now. However, don't feel bad when we say that bronze beers... Sorry, don't feel bad because everybody's in different tiers at different times. Because, people play. There's a bunch of different ways to play. Some people care about their tiers. Some people don't. So don't feel bad when we say that bronze beers are trash. They're horrible. We hate them. We spit them out on the ground. We pour them out. Don't even drink them because that's how bad they are.
Silver beers are bad or just kind of boring.
Gold beers are fine, but we wouldn't really drink them again.
Platinum is solid. You would totally drink it again.
Diamond beers are exceptional. We like these a lot, and we show them off to our friends.
And Mythic, these are the best of the best. These are the Cinder Strikes of the beer world.
Ooh, Cinder Strike's best of the best? Okay.
I think
Just
so.
clear and obvious best choice. I love it. We got this Feist beer here, Jeff.
Yes. Festbier.
Fest. Feist? Sorry. Feist is a band. Fest. Fest beer. What'd you think? Did it live up to the hype of the guy telling you at the store that it was so worth it?
I think the guy was right.
Wow.
I was right. I liked this beer.
Okay.
It was really good. Super solid. I like the style, and I think this is a great example of it. It's just very crisp while still having some flavor. I think is sort of what I'm coming around to on these styles of these sort of traditional German lagers. Of it's that best of both worlds where it does have that crispness and stuff that people love about lagers, and sort of drinkability, but it actually tastes like a beer, which I always like.
Yeah.
That being said, can't go super crazy over it. I think. I wish I had one more sip to make the final call. I'm just gonna go diamond. I liked it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I liked it.
I have one more sip.
That was smart.
I actually did not love this beer very much. This
Really?
is not what I was looking for, in the sense that I've talked about this before. I don't know what it is, but this has the sock taste.
Okay. Yeah.
It's got that sweaty sock green tea. It's like a bitter thing almost, and for that reason, I know that this is made correctly. I'm not worried about it being packaged wrong, or we had joked about how this shouldn't be in your fridge too long. I do not think that this is why that this taste is here. I think it's just something that I personally don't care for. And for those reasons, I'm going to give this gold. I don't need to drink this one again, but it doesn't... would I try this again over Budweiser if I saw it? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, gold's the right spot for it then.
I guess that's... Yeah, we actually haven't thought about that as if it's this against a silver beer,
That should just be the definition of gold.
Yeah, I'll drink this.
Budweiser.
Oh, it's better than Budweiser. Yeah, it is hard. Our system is a little, it's a little funky. Because for a long time we said we considered Stella like a silver, but it's hard because I will often get Stellas because I'm they just feel solid. I'm not worried about it. I'm just it's always going to be good. So
it's like Peronis for me. Just let's just grab a.
That's so funny.
Peronis.
I don't really like Peroni very much. That's one my wife likes a lot, and I'm always okay, I guess we'll have some in the fridge.
Gotta get them fresh, though.
Okay, all right. From Italy? I guess I haven't had it from Italy. Yeah. Anyway.
No, I just mean like check the date on them because
Okay.
a lot of these a lot of these like macro brew lagers, imported ones especially, just they're forever, man.
It's true. Also, the ones in the green bottles you got to watch out for. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
90% chance they're Scotch.
Yeah. That's true. Maybe I actually haven't had a true, fresh, clean, delicious Peroni. I don't try them very often, so it could have been like that Sapporo that was dusty as hell.
Yeah,
But who knows? No, Sapporo's still not very good.
it's just bad.
It's just bad. Yeah, you know it's bad when at my job on Tuesdays they're $5 for a pint, a draft. Yeah,
A whole pint.
yeah, a whole pint for $5, and people will drink one and then oftentimes just switch to a different beer. It's so funny.
Yeah, I'll get actually one of the more expensive beers.
I'll pay $4 more for a different lager. That's
Pay
hilarious.
double to
Yeah,
not have to drink this one.
yeah. Anyway, sweet. So this doesn't actually. I do want to say, rarely do we have a beer that like you really like and I don't really like.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like often it's the other way around, where it's like,
Yeah, because it's weird or something.
yeah, it's like some weird sour that I'm like, this is great, and you're like, this is trash.
Or it has El Dorado in it.
Or it has El Dorado, and this had my version of El Dorado, which
Right,
is
yeah.
sweaty
Dirty
socks. I don't really know what that is. I don't know how to explain it. Besides that, it's like how if a wine tastes like rubber bands, I like it. I don't know why. It's like, oh, this tastes like
wine has the weirdest. It's like it has notes
Notes.
of leather. I'm like, do I want notes of leather?
I kind of like it. It's like biting
Leather's
down
not
on a belt.
food.
Yeah. But yeah, I've had wines that tasted like, you're like, yeah, it kind of tastes like you know, when you're just like chewing on a rubber band. It's like that. It's like, I do remember doing that as a kid, and I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I don't really remember doing that, but I can simulate the flavor you're talking about.
Sure. Well, you know when you're like just randomly sucking on a penny, kind of. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Maybe not sucking on a penny. You've put a penny in your mouth before.
maybe when I was a baby.
No, there's no way you did it as a baby because your parents would not have let you do that. Even if it was the 90s, they would not have let you put a penny in your mouth.
Hey, have some pennies. Come on.
I don't know. You're 7. You're like, yeah, there's a penny. Oh, you know?
Well, I
No?
don't know. I don't
All
remember.
right. I'll talk to your son about it. We'll
Yeah.
we'll chat. We'll
Oh,
chat.
pennies are gone. Pennies are gone.
Ah, you're right. It's going to be a different taste. Shoot. It just won't be the same.
Won't be that
But
copper, man.
Well, when people, you get hit in the mouth or something, and then you're like, you taste blood, and people are like, oh, it tastes like pennies. It's like it's the same thing. But I literally tasted a penny.
I
How
hear
have you-
people say it tastes like copper, though. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, but how did you taste copper? Have you
blood.
tasted copper before?
Because
Blood?
people told me copper tastes like blood.
Is there copper in our blood? I thought it was just iron.
Yeah. It's metallic, for sure.
It is for sure.
I was thinking about this just the other day, though. I'm like, why does everyone in the whole world know what metallic tastes like? Like when you say it tasted metallic, everyone knows what that is. It's like
Yeah. Because
putting
I've
too
put
much
a
metal in our mouths.
I've put a penny in my mouth. Oh, to be fair, I guess no. I was gonna say because people have braces or like caps on their teeth, but like, did my braces taste like metal? Did you have braces? I don't know if they tasted like metal. I guess they kind of did, but it was in your mouth all the time. It didn't. It wasn't like a constant metal taste. I guess we actually no, Jeff. What the hell are we talking about? People put metal in their mouth all the time. They eat with forks and spoons. Like we use metal to.
Yeah,
to
stainless steel.
I guess that's kind of what braces tasted like with stainless steel. It was just like a bunch of spoons in your mouth, keeping your teeth straight.
Dental equipment.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. As it like clanking around. but nothing beats a penny. Honestly, Jeff, I gotta find a penny, and you gotta put it in your mouth.
I think I know what copper tastes like. Just,
Yeah, but this way
excited.
you'll know for sure, right? You'll have an experience. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I thought everybody did this. Now you're making me look like the weird one, as if I have ever been the weird one.
You know, it's probably just that like Canadian pennies don't taste as good as American pennies.
That's true, because we have real pure copper, and yours is
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like fake or something.
Canadian copper.
Yeah. Whatever that is. Is it just because pennies taste like maple syrup here or something?
Oh, that'd be great.
I don't know. That sounds kind of bad, actually. Anyway, let's go to closing time. If you want to reach us and talk about all the times that you have tasted pennies, you can find
Let me
us
know.
at
Maybe
Arena
I'm the weird
Regulars
one. I don't
on
know.
Instagram and Blue Sky.
You can also find us on Arena itself under the username Arena Regulars Podcast.
If you want to talk to me personally, you can find me at @theregular_Zach. I'm on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and different places. But Jeff, where can they find you?
Best place is our Discord channel. It's a super fun place to come hang out, talk about Magic, tell us what you are excited about in Lorwyn, show us your Lorwyn drafts, your Lorwyn wins, your sealed events. Love to see it. And once a month we host a Arena Peasant Cube Draft, which means there's only commons and uncommons, so you can craft your deck with some of those wild cards that you have sitting around. It's a really awesome cube, super fun. Again, happens once a month, and the link to join that Discord channel is in the show notes.
That's right. It actually happened last night. Jeff, didn't you win last
I
night?
sure did.
Yeah,
Sure
yeah.
did.
Wow, I can't believe it. Reflector
The old-
maging a million times, I heard.
I may have Reflector Mage Soul Herdered a few people.
Ooh, that sounds
And
delicious.
Ephemerate was the real killer with Reflector
That's a great
Mage.
card. You know what? I'm so happy they printed that card.
Yeah. And so were my opponents.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
It was like, oh, great. No matter what I do for the next, 2-3 turns does not matter. I was like, that's correct.
That is correct. That's what I built my deck to do. Anyway, if you like the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify. Leave us a review there as well. Go to our YouTube channel. Leave us a little comment. It means a lot to us. We love to hear your feedback. This has been the Arena Regulars.
Reminding you that an important battle is currently taking place. Man versus machine, who will prevail? It's going to be tight.
Wow. I thought you were going to say Kithkin versus Goblins, but I guess this works out too.
Yeah. That one's a clear win.
Yeah.
for
Well,
Goblins.
Kithkin. What? All right, that's fine.